word comic, I thought of the weekly comic in the newspaper. I thought of Superman or Batman. I thought of it as being a collector's item for dorky grown men. But I never thought about it being a work of art, and I certainly never associated a comic with the Game of Thrones. I thought it would be impossible for a comic to accurately portray this complicated world, filled with insane settings, crazy amounts of characters, blood and gore, family, love, and so much more. It seemed unthinkable to be able to capture all of this in a comic, but somehow it worked. I never read comics growing up, so I was slightly overwhelmed when I first opened the comic book. There were pictures and dialogue and thoughts and multiple pictures on a page. Do I look at the pictures first, or do I read the words first? Is there a way to do it wrong? In addition, I had no background on the Game of Thrones, so starting with the comic was difficult to understand what was going on and who all these people were. After my nerves disappeared, I really found the comic interesting. To design a comic takes skill, and I admire it. I liked how the dialogue in the comic remained true to the original dialogue and text from the Game of Thrones novel. What I liked most about the comic, however, was how it made me compare comics to real life. I noticed that oftentimes the style of a comic mirrors the way we live our lives in the real world. For example, coloring affects the way in which we read the scene of the comic. If the pictures in the comic are dark, then the reader realizes the mood is somber or intense. But if the pictures in the comic were light, the mood was often happy. I noticed this in life too. Our emotions are affected by light and dark, whether it's sunny out or cloudy. In addition, the comic accurately portrays love and family, but it also portrayed hate and depression. This is seen in life too. Unfortunately, I think the comic failed at showing how people don't all look the same. In real life, we all look so different from each other, and it is obvious to us that we do not all look the same. However, in the comic, everyone looked the same, and it was confusing to me to figure out who was who, because their faces looked too similar. This would be a struggle for a comics artist, being able to draw every detail to make sure everyone looks different. But even though the artist did not do a good job about showing how we all look different from one another, he did do a good job at drawing settings. In the Game of Thrones, there are a ton of settings. There is snow, but there are also times where there are colorful trees as if it is fall. All of the settings in the comic reminded me of the settings and seasons that we have in real life. It was interesting to see how they are all so similar. Overall, after reading the graphic novel, I have an appreciation for comics and their artists. It is difficult to take the crazy world of Game of Thrones and put it into a still picture. However, the artist made the pictures come alive. In real life, we take pictures and hope that these photos tell a story. A comic is no different. This comic is chaotic, just like the real world we live in. That is what I liked most about the graphic novel, realizing that comics are not much different than real life.